Hey everyone, so what if you could actually see what's happening inside your body? I mean, in real time. Today, we're going to dive into how you can use some pretty powerful metabolic data to unlock one of the biggest goals out there, efficient fat burning, a process known as lipolysis. Let's get right into it. First, let's start with a really big question. We hear it all the time, right? Aim for normal blood sugar. But what if normal isn't the whole story? What if that standard clinical range isn't what's truly optimal for your health, your energy, and especially for your ability to burn fat? So here's our game plan. We're going to start by really challenging that whole idea of normal blood sugar. Then we'll look at the tools you need to map your glucose and actually gauge fat burning. We'll uncover this incredible dual fuel advantage, tackle a critical missing piece that trips a lot of people up, and then we'll wrap it all up with a practical action plan you can use. All right, first up, the problem with normal. And look, this isn't just about trying to avoid a diagnosis. This is about achieving true metabolic wellness. And the key to that, as you're about to see, is one word: stability. You know, the real villain here isn't just a single high number on a lab test. It's this thing called glycemic variability. The best way to think about it is like a constant, stressful roller coaster for your blood sugar. Even if your numbers stay inside that so-called normal range, it's these wide swings up and down that cause silent, long-term damage to your body, stressing out your blood vessels and your mitochondria. And what that means is we kind of have to shift the goalposts. The objective isn't just about staying out of the diabetic range. The real prize, the thing we're really after, is maintaining beautifully stable glucose. That is the absolute foundation for consistent energy and for solid hormonal balance. And listen, this isn't just theory. Check out this real-world results. A person's HOMA-IR score, which is a key marker for how well your body is using insulin, dropped from 2.40 all the way down to an amazing 0.86. That's a massive 64% improvement in just 7 weeks. So yeah, dramatic changes are absolutely possible. So how do you actually get that stability? Well, you need data. And our first tool is your real-time glucose map, the continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. Seriously, think of it as your own personal metabolic detective. What a CGM does is it gives you this constant stream of information, measuring your glucose every few minutes. So on the left, you can see the Live app, which is great for quick checks. But on the right, that's where the real power is. That's where all that raw data gets turned into a clear, 24-hour story of your metabolism. So let's actually read this story. A time and range of 91%? That's fantastic. It means this person spent over 21 hours in that optimal glucose zone. The peak was just a gentle morning rise from hormones, not some crazy food spike. And that beautiful flat line overnight, that is the signature of a calm, stable metabolism. That's what you want to see. But stable glucose is only half of the picture. To confirm you're actually burning fat for fuel, you need a second tool. And this one is your fat-burning fuel gauge, the ketone meter. It's what tells you if your body has successfully flipped the switch on its primary fuel source. Let's just compare the two for a second. Glucose, which comes from carbs, can lead to those inflammatory spikes that we're trying to avoid. Ketone metabolism, on the other hand, uses your body's own fat stores for fuel. It's a much cleaner, more efficient energy source, and measuring your ketones is what confirms you're actively tapping into those fat reserves. And here is the proof. This reading from a breath ketone meter is showing 9.72 parts per million. This isn't guesswork anymore. This is a concrete number that confirms this person is in a state of deep nutritional ketosis. Fat burning is officially unlocked. So what does a 9.72 actually mean? Well, this chart puts it into context. It's not just in ketosis. It's in the deep ketosis zone. This is where maximum fat oxidation happens. This is the bullseye for anyone who's serious about burning that stubborn, visceral fat. Okay, now for the really exciting part. This is the aha moment. We're about to put the two data streams together, your glucose map and your fat-burning fuel gauge, to reveal the real magic of what we call the dual fuel advantage. Here it is. This is the core principle of this entire explainer, right here on the screen. The ultimate formula for unlocking your fat stores is having two things happen at the same time: low and stable blood glucose combined with high and sustained ketone levels. And here is what it looks like in the real world. This chart is the key takeaway of everything we're talking about. Notice that blue line, that's blood glucose, just staying low and steady, humming along. Now look at the orange line, ketones, absolutely soaring upwards. This beautiful inverse relationship, that's the visual confirmation that your body is efficiently fueling itself with fat. The source material just says it so perfectly. When you achieve this, the body is in its most efficient fat-burning state. Insulin is at physiological baseline, and visceral fat stores are unlocked. That, right there, that is the metabolic sweet spot. But there can be a catch. As you get into that deep fat-burning state, you might start to feel, well, a little off. Maybe some cramps, fatigue, not sleeping great. And this brings us to a really critical missing piece that so many people overlook: electrolytes. This chart shows a direct relationship. As your ketone levels rise, your body's demand for key electrolytes, I'm talking magnesium, potassium, and sodium, also increases right along with it. They are not optional. They are absolutely essential for feeling good. This table gives you the exact targets to aim for when you get into deep ketosis. Hitting these numbers for magnesium, potassium, and sodium, that is the key to feeling fantastic while your body becomes a fat-burning machine. It's how you completely avoid that dreaded keto flu. Okay, so we've covered the why and the what. Now let's talk about the how. It's time to build your personal action framework. This is all about turning this amazing data into simple, real-time decisions. And here it is, a simple set of IF-VEN rules. If your glucose spikes, then you go for a walk. If it dips too low, then you wait and have some protein and fat, not more carbs. If your ketones are too low, then you investigate your carb intake. And if your ketones are high, you know immediately to focus on your electrolytes. This puts you in the driver's seat. And please remember, the goal here isn't about being perfect. It's not about chasing perfect numbers every single second of the day. It's about getting real-time feedback from your body, understanding your unique responses, and just using that knowledge to consistently make better choices. So, you now have the tools and you have the framework to read the data that your own body is producing. The only question left is, what story will you create with it?